Okay, guys, we are ready to get started on episode 3. How are you feeling? All right, this is a popular topic. I gotta tell you, this is one that I get the most. Can anyone guess what it is? Career. How many people here, the number one thing on their minds is the career? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, that's what we're covering today. We're going to start with 3 different people in 3 different places in their career with different resistances. Hopefully they resonate for you as well. Of course, ask the questions into your inner voice as we go along for the ones that feel right for you. Let's start with Abby.
Hey, Jess. I'm hoping that I'll have the chance to talk to you on the TV show about a career transition that I'm going through. My mind is having some resistance to this new job that I got, which came to me in a super flowy way and feels very aligned. But the resistance comes from the fact that this is a job in a field that I didn't expect I'd be working in. I went to grad school for a really specialized field and always thought that I would have a job in that field. However, the jobs I've had in that field over the past 5 years haven't been aligned for me. So I've started to ask my intuition or inner voice some questions about this and have found a little bit of peace around the subject, but I'm hoping that you might be able to help me tap in and go a little bit deeper so that I can start this new job and continue to learn and grow and not get caught up in the resistance of the mind. Thanks.
All right, how can we help you today? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I just started a new job 10 days ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it's going really well so far. And actually 2 years ago, I took Life with Intention online, and I talked to you about my job. And it took 2 years for me to find this new job. And it's, like I said, it's going really well, but it's in a different field than the field I focused on in grad school and in the first few years of my career. So the job itself came to me super flowy. It was very aligned. And now I'm feeling the resistance of this is not what I always thought I would be doing or expected I would be doing. And the whole time I was in school for museum studies, public history, and it was a magical experience. I loved every minute of it, and that felt so aligned to me. And my mind, or the mind in me rather, is now afraid that I'm never gonna feel those feelings of alignment around my career again because I've stepped off of that path.
Okay, so inner voice, familiar, not familiar? Used it?
Familiar, used it.
Have you tried with this?
Yes.
How has it gone?
It went well, and I got some really interesting wisdom from it. It basically told me that that feeling that I had previously in my other career is like magic, and I can still feel that. I can still access that feeling, and that it's just joy, and that's what its purpose was. And
So the mind says to that wonderful point of wisdom, what?
Great, but what if I never feel that about this job or this new career?
Have you asked that question yet?
No.
All right. Heart or gut?
Heart.
Okay. Chest. Will I feel that feeling again? Can I feel that feeling again?
Yes.
Will I feel it?
Yes.
Does it need to be in my career alone?
No.
So I'm not limiting my scope here by just focusing on my career. Or am I?
Yes and no.
Okay. How yes?
Relying.
What am I relying on? Am I relying on am I relying on the external condition of my career to create an internal reality for myself?
Yes.
Is that useful?
No.
What could I do instead?
All the things.
What are all the things? Do you see, by the way, let me point out, you're doing a brilliant job, and she doesn't know what that means. You can see that in her face, right? The reaction was confusion. That is a level of solution beyond the level of her mind. That just means we ask more questions. It's not that you heard it wrong, it's just that you're actually getting somewhere new, which is exactly what you want to experience. You want to get somewhere new than the problem. The problem's at the old. To go to new is to get to the peaceful perception. So what are all the things?
Small sparks.
In my life or in my career or both?
In my life.
In my life. What's a small spark I've recently connected to like that?
Buying a lamp.
Buying a lamp. You mean I could go to Home Goods? I don't have to do this at my job? I don't have to do this in my inbox and Gmail? I could do this at Home Goods?
Yes.
Do you see how the mind's like, no, only in museum studies am I allowed to feel this. Home Goods, it's off limits. Shut it down. Don't feel happy about that $29.99 lamp that's perfectly suited for my hallway. Doesn't the mind put blinders on? It's like, no, shut out that joy. Go away.
And I think where this is coming from is many, many years of, I knew what I wanted to do from a very young age, and I had a very, very poignant experience, my first trip to Washington, D.C., and I said, this is what I want to do, and this is what I'm going to do. And I attached to that, and I held tightly to it.
The mind attached
Yes.
to this is where the joy comes from. I only like chocolate fudge sundaes. I can never like pumpkin pie. Only chocolate fudge, because when I was how old?
11.
11, my subconscious imprinted this thing, and it's like, this is the only place it's allowed to come from.
Yes. And it was everything that I worked for and did all of the, the internships in DC and the, everything I needed to do to get to that. And then I got there and it wasn't.
It couldn't be. Do you see how that would be limiting her scope of life experience? If she only ever ate a hot fudge sundaes to get joy? That'd be a pretty limited life. Because there's a lot more than hot fudge sundaes in the world. Okay, let's do a little different line of inquiry just to see if we can smooth out some of the knots. Okay, it's like massage, but with your mind. I'm very bad at physical massage. I can't tell a knot from an organ or anything. I'm like, I don't know. But I'm good at the mental ones. Okay, because I've got a lot of mental knots I've worked through myself. Okay, am I in the right job for me right now?
Yes.
Okay. Am I allowed to be there?
Yes.
Is it safe to be there?
Yes.
Is it okay to be there?
Yes.
Is it okay and allowed and safe even for the mind to enjoy it there?
I don't hear anything.
Okay. Why don't I hear something to that answer?
Mine.
Yeah, his mind's blocking. Because it's really holding on to this. Inner voice, why is it choking that part so hard?
Used to struggle.
Yeah. Can I open the scope of what brings me joy in career to be more than just museum studies?
Yes.
Would that be useful for me?
Yes.
Would that bring me more joy?
I don't hear anything.
Okay. Is the mind blocking that question? Why is the mind holding on to that story so much?
Expected.
Who put that expectation on me?
Me.
Okay. Can I let that go? Yeah, right? You feel it. It's shaking. It's like, okay, why is the mind holding on to that so hard? Does it need to let go of that story right now?
No.
Okay. Can I just let the mind hold on to that as I keep going forward one day at a time at this job?
Yes.
It's been 10 days. It's like dating someone new and you're like, I'm never going to love someone as much as the last guy. And it's like 10 days in, you're like, yeah, well, we're not there yet, but maybe. Is it possible for this is a part of my path, yes?
Yes.
Do I need to stay there forever?
No.
Do I need to have the same experiences I've already had before?
No.
Do you want me to have the same type of experiences I've already had before?
No.
Why not?
Grown.
Growing. So this is just a part of the growing.
Yes.
Have I fully juiced the juice of life out of the other chapter fully?
Yes and no.
Okay, how yes?
Felt.
What does that mean for you, or what does that mean? You felt how great it was?
Felt the alignment.
Yeah. Can another career, maybe even this one, feel as aligning? Is it possible? I know the mind's blocking, so like, is it possible
Yes.
that that's possible? Okay. Will I need more time to see if that's possible in this?
Yes.
Okay. But I'm where I'm supposed to be. And everything's going well, and I'm just growing from where I've been to a new experience
Yes.
that has the potential to give me the same amount of joy in a new way. Yeah?
Still
Is it resistance?
Yeah.
All right, okay, bubble up. You're doing a great job. You didn't like get into the story and get out. You stayed in with me, even though we were hearing some blocks. Do you guys notice how we just kind of went around the boulders? We're just like ducking and weaving. You don't have to try to like hammer through them and then say it doesn't work and bounce off. You kind of weave around. She's where she's supposed to be. It's day 10. Let's see what day 11 brings. Alignment, I think it'll be a good one. What do you feel now?
I still feel fear, or the mind feels fear, that good aligning feeling, that juiciness that I felt before will no longer, I won't find that again.
But you've now heard it's possible.
Yes.
And the mind's like, show me. I'm an experiencer. The mind is an experience. It's a stapler. It wants to experience the reality. Mm-hmm. So it just needs to be shown the reality, and it's being impatient and trying to project. Remember we talked about the inner,
yes,
the alignment of the now and the projection. It's scanning past and future, saying how great that was. It can't possibly. That's like an equivalent could be like a relationship, like a partner passes away, and then you're like, well, I'm never going to find that love, and it will never be the same because it's not the same circumstances, situation, or growth. But that doesn't preclude the feeling because it's just a feeling.
Right. Yeah.
But the mind attaches to the circumstance that created the feeling.
Yes. Yeah. So the lamp moment, those have been happening more and more lately.
Yeah.
It's good because that has been my bridge to, okay, I can feel that in other areas. It's been my bridge to broadening my perspective. And I just wish I could get the mind to.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And you're in a good situation, but I'll just make it a little bit even more exaggerated. Mm-hmm. But it might be useful. The same hook might be useful. So you guys might be able to pull this in wherever it's useful for you. I have a girl that does my hair in Detroit that got her car stolen the day before I got my hair done last week or 2 weeks ago. And that sucks. She's a single mom. She drives to work in Detroit like it's Motor City. Like everybody thinks they need to have a car there. I'm the only one I think that doesn't. And she had her car stolen. For me, it's a choice, so I don't feel restricted. But for her, that was a shock, and felt because of the stories and the lifestyle she created around those stories like it was something difficult and bad. And it was unfortunate. She didn't have car insurance that was going to pay for a new car, so that was difficult as well. So I talked with her the next day, and I said, why don't we start with, I don't know why, but something good's going to come from this. I don't know why, because I asked her about the day. I said, did you have a bad day that day? Because I was kind of wondering on the law of attraction aspect of like, not that she would have like wanted that kind of outcome, but could that be a natural outcome of a crappy day or a good day? She said, no, it was a great day. I got an $80 tip. Like she had a great day, and then the car was gone. And it shocked her because it was a good day. And so what ended up unfolding in the last 2 weeks, as I've gone back to see her, is that she's having a great time. She doesn't even miss her car. She wishes she's saving money. She's like, I walk more and I've got a bus that drops me off. I don't even have to park abroad. Like, it's the best thing. But at the time that it happened, she didn't know why, but she held open the possibility that it could be good. Now, yours is a good situation that you're opening to the possibility that it could be great.
Yes.
How does that feel?
It feels like there's so much potential in that if I could only.
But you just have to say, I don't know why. Well, it's never going to know. Because this is a stapler. It's not the scissors. Right. So it's never going to know. Yeah. But at least it gets to admit that it doesn't know. And it thinks that it will at some future point know. And it will only know because this will experience something new. Mm-hmm. And the knowing will happen here. But then it'll be able to go, oh, that happened. Yeah. All right, I checked in. I got the fudge sundae feeling again.
Right.
How does it feel? I don't know why. But something great, amazing could happen from this, or it'll bounce you to that next amazing feeling. But you might as well milk this phase for what it is.
Right. So I guess the question I have for my
what is it?
Voice or inner being is, what can I do now?
I love what you just said. Can I just thank you for saying, I guess the next question I have is for my inner voice. Do you know how many people I work with say, the next question I have for you is, she just said the next question she has for her own self to answer. Okay, what is it, and do it. Can you say it out loud so everyone remembers? Yeah.
What is the next, I can't remember what the question is. What is the next thing I can do where I am now? Bask.
Bask in what?
don't hear anything.
What does bask mean?
Relax into
Relax into what?
moments.
That's it? You just want to relax and bask in moments?
Yes, and don't look bigger.
What does not looking bigger mean? Don't do what?
Don't try to figure.
Don't try to figure it out?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels like just buy a lamp and like the feeling I'm getting is like just focus on the feeling of buying a lamp.
That's it. Go to work and focus on my lamp. Can life be this simple?
Yeah.
Is it meant to be this simple, or is it meant to be more complicated and purposeful?
Mind likes drama.
Yeah, it does. It needs drama to survive in its current state of like all-consuming attention. You guys see that? If it didn't have all this drama to solve, it wouldn't have the airtime it's getting. This is on a global scale, that our species is just in this pubescent or prepubescent, largely prepubescent, but also we're in the emerging of this awareness. The only reason there's so much drama is because there's so much mind activity that thinks it needs to solve to create a reality for itself to exist as it's currently doing, which is soaking up all of the attention and energy. This is saying it doesn't really need to be that hard. You're spinning in the middle of nowhere. Like, what's really the problem? Like, we're not falling off the earth. Thank God, the gravity's still functioning, the sun's still shining, photosynthesis is still happening. It's just this that wants a story, which is fine, but it's not really serving in its current capacity.
Right.
How do you feel?
Good.
Is there any more resistance we can bust?
I think too, the last experience I was in, the job I left, I wanted it to work so badly because it was what I expected to do with my career. And it was a very bad environment, and that's why I left. And that experience was like deeply emotionally difficult for me. And I think that I'm carrying from that position into this new job a lot of fear that
It could happen again.
it could happen again. And an unwillingness to be my full self.
It's scary. If you've had an environment and you've had this reaction, what it is, I've recently been watching this in myself a lot. It's like having a bruise. So the situation you're in now is not actually bad,
No.
but you're bruised from the past. It's like an emotional, like Eckhart calls it the pain body. I have been feeling the pain, but I was like, thought it was a concept no, it's literally like a feeling. And I don't know where, some people will go, I know what she's talking about. Other people like, it's still a concept. It feels like, I call it bean bags. Like it's bean bags of knots of tension. And I can feel where they're at now when I'm feeling them. I'm like, oh my God, that's like a bean bag of tension. And what's happening, and if you have a really, like, I don't even think that my personal experience with it, I don't even think that beanbag that just got bruised recently had anything to do, I think that was like something I got from some earlier point in my life that was re-triggered by the last experience, but that was really painful. And then because of that re-triggering, I've been now going into other experiences waiting for that to be poked and have the same reaction. But that's just like triggering law of attraction to just bring another thing like it and keep perpetuating the story. So then we're 59 and we're telling the same story we've been telling for decades, and we keep making it true because the bruise keeps getting poked. So I know that feeling, and it takes a lot of courage to go into a new situation, open-minded enough to look at the pain that we're feeling not as a reflection of reality, but just as the healing of the old bruise. And the only way the bruise is going to be healed, it's like homeopathy, the cure is in the cause. So you're going to keep re-triggering until you heal the thing. But it'll get subtler and subtler. Hopefully it won't get worse and worse. Hopefully it gets less and less, so it's like some initial thing, and each time it comes back. Jacob Lieberman kind of calls it like sifting the grains of sand, and slowly the boulders become rocks, become sand. And so like you whittle it down, and then there's the healing. Or just like a bruise, it's really bad, and then it heals over time. So it takes courage to show up, but also recognize that the reality you're in is different than the one your pain is projecting. So if you can find an area where you're not bruised, and then look at that and how you would react if someone in that situation that's not bruising, let's say you have a great relationship with your family and it's painful in career. All right, so your body wants to react to, and your pain wants to react to any, let's say, email communication. All right, let's bring it to like a practical level. Email communication, oh my gosh, it's gonna be like this other guy at work and Barry at the last job, right? Would you react to that email in the new job if it was from your mother? How would you react if you have a great relationship with your mother, right? Because there's no bruise there. So it's kind of a nice way of looking at it. I'm noticing is like straddling how to look at it from a healed perspective is how would I treat this person if this is like a person on my team, because I have a great team. So how would I treat that? Is there anything wrong if they behaved in this way or reacted in this way? No. But if I'm projecting my other situation on the bruise of that other aspect of my life, then I'm much more quick to react and then create a perpetuating cycle. But I'm creating that. I'm kind of poking them to then validate where my fear lies.
Sure.
Does that feel helpful?
Yes. So can I ask another question of?
Yes.
So how can I approach this new job from a healed perspective?
Beautiful.
I think I'm getting like clean or pure kind of a feeling.
What's a situation example quickly to like something that's triggering? Where's a bruise that you'll, felt that one?
A boss.
A boss.
Yeah.
Doing what? Talking to you, emailing you, calling you?
Constant criticism.
That was the past pain? Okay, have you had any criticism now?
No.
Okay, so when are you reacting and when are you flinching now with the new boss, waiting for the criticism to come?
Anytime I have to do something that could provide an opportunity for that person to put judgment on me, so whether it's a writing product.
So if you're writing?
Email. Writing a grant proposal, responding to a verbal question.
So it's whenever you're working?
Yeah.
Because you're thinking, it's whenever you're doing the job that you're afraid he or she's gonna judge later.
Yes, it's anything.
Okay, how do I do my job without worrying about, without that fear?
Breathe.
Breathe. Why ask this? Why is breathing important?
Slows
Slows what?
the mind.
Yeah. You're going, actually what you're really doing, this is in C school for anyone that likes brain states, you're going from high beta, which is anxiety, that's what she's feeling. She's triggering this old wound, and then if breathing slows you down through high beta to low beta to alpha theta. Once you get into that alpha theta state, your brain and your body are in a heart-brain coherent state, you're able to access the subconscious or this inner voice, and everything calms the heck down. That's going from the mind to this lower place. That's why I keep telling people to breathe out. I'm getting them to slow the brain states from the anxiety down. I know it's simple and it feels hard to do.
Yeah.
Because the high beta is 28 to 46 cycles a second. That's very fast. To get from that to down to 9 is like going 1,000,000 miles an hour in a car and then slamming on the brakes. That's hard to do when there's so much momentum and law of attraction kicking into that momentum and perpetuating it.
Yeah.
That said, even though it's simple and hard, you see that that's the mechanics of it. Mm-hmm. And it just takes practice.
Yeah.
And compassion when you don't. So you're not sitting with the Brussels sprout, like we said in episode 1, sitting in the back of your mouth. You're doing really well. I hope that this continues for you to unfold, but you have the compassionate awareness that you know this boss has nothing to do with that.
Right.
And what's interesting is your brain tells this whole story about how great it was before, even though it wasn't that great. And you're like, this is actually really awesome, but I don't think I'm ever going to feel good.
Right.
just because of the stories.
Yeah. Yeah.
The stories actually don't even line up with the emotions.
No.
I thought it was so great, but really I felt terror from my boss, and now I have a great boss, and I'm feeling terror that I won't feel so great. But you didn't actually feel good.
Right.
So what if you got to have all the joy of museum studies, and you get to have a work environment you love now? What if that's what your inner voice is guiding you towards?
That's what I initially heard when I asked the questions. Prior to coming, it was, you had this wonderful time of exploration in the field that you love, and that was wonderful and magical.
And so was this.
There's an opportunity
Yeah.
here. Yeah. That piece in between the bad job was just...
Yeah. It's just a part of the unfolding. And the bruise, I just have a lot of compassion for the fact that it's still bruised. And recognize that the fear you're feeling has nothing to do with the current situation.
Yeah.
Okay? I know someone recently that told me about this, long story, know someone very deeply close to them that got killed by a drunk driver, later ends up getting a DUI and like tortures themselves for the fact that they got that DUI. Now, I don't have any association, I don't have any story or any experience with any of that personally. So when I heard that story, I felt a lot of compassion for the person, but I didn't have the reaction that that person had on that situation because that wasn't something that was triggering to me, right? It was obviously you'd have some level of emotion, but not the level of experience that that person had. So you're just in a bruised situation. It's from the past that's being projected onto this. The situation's actually not that bad.
Right.
It's just coming up to heal what was feeling bad. So when you notice that, instead of looking at the boss or at the situation for the change, you just now know, oh, this is old stuff in myself that's being triggered right now. So you never start blaming other people because it's not about the other people. They're not trying to do anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I just had like a mini aha that I can separate that pain from the job.
From this new job or the old
From
job?
the new job.
Yeah, the new job has nothing to do with it.
It's so obvious.
Yes. It's a place where you can go and find that that situation doesn't have to play out again, or if it does, you can change it.
Right, that pain is separate.
It has
Now it's
nothing to
separate.
do with them.
It's no longer linked to my job.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jess.
I was sitting next to Abby when she mentioned that she was going to be in the hot seat talking about career, and I was like, that's alignment, because that's my thing, thank goodness. And I think just the big aha is there is always joy. Like it's everywhere in the lamp, and sometimes we forget that because we get so focused on that one element, and there's 7,000 other really incredible things happening, and yeah, that's just awesome. I'm really excited to go back to all of the stuff, all of the things, and be able to just find the joy and pick on that moment instead of leaving the Brussels sprout in my mouth. So, thanks, ladies.
Did you have a realization while watching? We want to hear about it. Please send us a message at realizations@jesslively.com. May something wonderful happen to you today.